Welcome back to another episode of What the Heck Am I Doing This Afternoon? Today I'm going to revive a project that has been dormant for, I want to say, a year and 4 or 5 months. Almost a year and a half. 2016 for me was an absolute blur. I literally woke up New Year's morning 2016, blinked an eye, and it was New Year's morning 2017. But about a year and a half ago, maybe a little less, maybe a year and 4 months ago, I'd have to go back and check the video. It's not that important to me right now. First person that tells me the last time I uploaded a video on this doing actual work on the Sawmill Bandmill project wins a cookie. Yes, it's time. It's time to cut the rope from this albatross that's been hanging around my neck, known as the Yamasaw, known as the home-built, scratch-built, Frankenstein bandmill, horizontal bandmill / sawmill project. Well, that's a mouthful. I think this has been a 4 or 5 year project, and I'm not even exaggerating. The trailer got built, I want to say the trailer, I built that about 5 years ago. The log bed, trailer built up to the ranch, and then I started building the cutting head a couple of years ago, and it just got stalled by life, which is fine. I'm not complaining. But what I'm saying is that it's time to get this did. So when we left you off on the last episode of the Yamasaw, it was 93% complete. The engine was running, the wheels were running, the belt tensioner system was running, the raise and lower of the cutting head system was tensioned, cabled, and working. The controls were working, the speedometer working. Everything was good. All I needed to do was buy the band, the actual band saw, the blade. Good golly, what am I doing this morning? The blade needed to be purchased. I measured for a blade. I did a bunch of internet research to figure out where I can buy custom size band blades. And then I did nothing with it for the next year plus. So it's time to get back, man. So last night I ordered 2 blades from what I think is a decent company. We'll see. And when they get here, they're like 1.25 inches wide. I think they're 1.1 or 1.3 teeth per inch. This is to resaw softwoods. This is not going to be a hardwood saw, and it's not. I have a planer up there, so I don't need these perfectly smooth. I don't want a fine tooth saw. I want to cut quickly, and if whatever I'm building requires a smooth surface, I'll run it through a planer. But chances are that saw and look is exactly what I'm going to be looking for when I build furniture and whatnot from the boards that I cut. That's enough talking. So what are we working on today on this Yamasaw bandmill sawmill project? Well, I don't have the blades in yet, right? I just ordered those last night. They should be here, I don't know, in a week or so. What I'm going to work on are these. And yeah, they've been sitting outside for a year and a half now. They got a little surface rust on them. You guys know I live by the ocean. Coastal Northern California climate just lays waste to stuff. This is a thick-walled square tube that came from a squat rack, an exercise rack. If you're new to the project, and I do have a bunch of new subscribers, I may not be familiar with the Yamasaw or the horizontal band mill that I'm building. It's kind of a Franken-cobble of stuff that's gone on in my head about what I can build, how I can build it, and as little as I have to buy new, I'd be very happy. And to this point, and I'm not exaggerating, the only new thing that I've purchased will be the blades, because I can't quite go around and find a used blade that's 215 inches. And I bought these wheels. And these wheels are new, right? These are, I don't know, $7 or $8 a piece at Home Depot. I don't know why I went with smart wheels. I should have gone with fixed wheels because I'm not using the housing. I just wanted steel wheels. I wanted wheels that would hold up to the environment, not rubber wheels. I have a ton of rubber wheels in inventory, older ones that would have worked well, I think, for a short period of time, but I want steel wheels, so I went up and bought these. So these were purchased. And the blade so far is purchased. Everything, purchased new, I should say. Everything else is repurposed, recycled, reused. The power plant is an 82 or 83 Yamaha cruiser that I paid a couple $100 for out of a tow yard lean sale thing, and it is appears to be the perfect option for the power plant. God, I just cut myself, laid down into a piece of sharp metal. But today, what I want to do is, the thinking is this. Now, this steel is, tape measure please. This chunk of steel is 1.5 inches. Oh, it's 2 by 2. Excuse me. This is 2 by 2 by 50 inches. Here's my thinking. Now, this will all clean up, right? This is just surface rust. Actually, a lot of it is just dirt, because we've gotten a lot of rain this year, so a lot of the dirt's been kicked back. This has been laying in the yard, which is fine. But it'll clean up to the point as far as I get to where I get bored of cleaning it up, and then I won't do it anymore. But the thinking on this 2 by 2 by 50 thick-walled or heavy-walled square tube is, this is what the cutting trolley is going to ride on, and these are going to ride down the outer angle iron, and they're going to do that with these wheels. Now, the reason why I haven't attached this to the cutting head itself is because I'm not certain where the center of gravity was going to lie on that, where it was going to end up on that cutting head. So in my head, the angle iron that's currently welded to the upright posts for the cutting head are gonna go in here. I'm going to figure out where this sits to where it's got the most stability to it, clamp it down, push it around a little bit on the trailer itself, see where it feels most stable, and then I'll weld it in position up at the ranch, not down here. So, what we're doing today is I'm going to cut the window that I need. I'm going to take these wheels out of the steering assembly here. I'm almost certain I'm going to throw these in the garbage. Somebody stop me, because there's no reason for me to keep this. I don't think. Any of these. But you know what, I probably will. These swivel casters, because I'm stupid. Whatever, who cares? These are 3-inch steel wheels. They roll quite nicely. They don't need to be high-speed wheels. They just need to get down the angle iron tracks. Let's just get started. You know what, that's enough talking. You guys, if you're new to the channel, I appreciate you watching. I'll get you caught up here to speed. And just sit back and relax, enjoy the show. We chuckle when people ask me about paint, and the answer is no. I have no plans on... Wait a minute, I gotta pay attention to what I'm doing here. So I'm talking, I'm not paying attention. I need to get to this. But I digress. I'm not painting this, no. I have no intention to paint this. This sawmill, I kind of like the old rusty rat rod look, and yeah, that's just the way that's going to have to be. Love it or hate it, that is what it kind of is going to be. So I need to have it that big so I can fit it in there. This will all make sense here in a minute. It kind of makes sense in my head, but it kind of isn't quite yet, because I have not drawn one iota of drawings on this, and I'm totally okay with that. So my plan is I'm going to cut a window out here. I'm going to set the window inside the pipe here. I'll have it probably 80% of the way down the top here. I'll drill the hole for the wheel. I'm going to have to cut a little bit of a window on top. That kind of boogers me up having this hole here, although I should just flip it over. If I flip it over, then this will be the top with all the holes. I don't think that's a bad idea. You know what? I'm just going to do that. Screw it. Alright, see? I didn't like the look of that originally. That's why you fly by this. I fly by the seat of my pants, because it allows me to look at stuff and not feel so locked into a set of plans that I need to follow the absolute detail. I'm leaving a little return here because I'm going to cap this. I'm going to weld this because I think it'll be stronger. If I just cut this window out here like this and leave just kind of a sort of C-channel thing here, I think we're going to be reducing some of its strength. I could be wrong. I want these wheels out as far as possible for the most stability, blah, 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 blah. All you do is talk. You don't get nothing done, nothing did. Really? You guys are in the way. Alright, I'm going to finish these up. They fit pretty well. You can take that burr off that inside and drop right in. And the intention is to have the wheel come in like this. I think I'm going to need to put a washer spacer on either side of the wheel to keep it centered. But that's the clearance I want up from the angle iron of the log bed. I'm going to build fender skirts over the top here so cutting debris doesn't get into the wheel and jam it up. We've got enough to catch the nylon end on this thread lock, or this nylon nut. Oh yeah, little dab of grease on there. It's not like it's a high-speed gig, but that's basically well, yeah, that's because it's need to be spaced. But that's it. We'll just do that 3 more times, and we'll call it good. Be right back. See the trouble you guys get into? Ah, I broke off my magnet base. Shit bags. That's unfortunate. Alright, where were we before we were so rudely interrupted? Let's make sure my jig has not moved. It is not. Okay. Okay, so here's where we end up with the feet. This video has been recorded over the course of, I think, 2 weeks, because I got busy in between, and the days that I have available have been raining, like today, so that's where this sits. I'm tempted to strap my feet to these things and ride it down the street like skis, but might make for a fun movie. They do roll quite freely. I think the metal wheels will be just fine on that angle iron on the outboard sides of the log trailer, the log bed / sawmill trailer that I've already built. If you're totally lost on this project, hang tight. I'll get you up to speed. If you've been following this project along for the last 3 or 4 years, I appreciate you sticking around. I really do. What's interesting though is I went ahead and put thread lock on these nuts and bolts here, and then I'm not even done with them. I'm so stupid. I'm not even done with them. I need to build skirts. I don't want to leave the top of the wheels exposed because I don't want sawdust and debris getting in there. I think that'll create some issues, so I was going to make a little hood for these to protect them. And then, as I mentioned earlier, I believe I mentioned earlier in the video, I'd like to cap these, I think. Yeah, I do. I don't know. Maybe I'll leave it open. It's probably strong enough open. I haven't decided on that yet, but I definitely need to build something over here because I don't want debris getting here. But then if I close this off, I don't want moisture and water potentially getting in here and then not having a way out. So this is pretty thick steel, so I suspect it'll be fine with the ends open. I don't know. I make this stuff up as I go along. I don't have a clue what I'm doing. I'll stew on that one. How about that? Yeah. I think I explained earlier why I did the holes up, because there were huge holes on this side, and I wanted to have a little more meat on the top. I think I mentioned that before. I was going to weld these closed. If that makes sense. If it doesn't, well, I'm sorry. Half this stuff doesn't make sense to me either, because again, I make it up as I go along. But those of you that understand, or that have been watching for a while, I get questions. If I had a couple of people ask me what size the legs, the feet are going to be to make it stable. These are 50 inches from stem to stern. The wheels, the actual contact point of the wheels are probably 47 inches. I haven't measured it, but it's probably 47. Because this probably is inboard a couple inches, 2, 4, 50, 46 maybe. Regardless, the height of that cutting trolley is 60 inches. It's 5 foot. That's like to the absolute peak, which is right where the springs are. I don't ever really anticipate that cutting carrier is going to be all the way up on that channel. So 60 inches tall, 50 inch total, or we'll just call it, hold on, let me figure it out. Hold on. Hold on. So I can speak from hub to hub. It is 46 inches. So we're 60 inches tall, and we're going to have a 46-inch footprint. And like I said, the chances of that cutting trolley being all the way up are going to be pretty slim. So I think it'll be stable enough. And then again, if I haven't mentioned it earlier in this video, because it's been 2 weeks since the last video, the plan is to situate that cutting assembly on here where it has the best balance, and then I'll weld it from there. I don't know where that is, and I didn't know where that is, and I still don't until that whole thing gets built. And then we'll set it on here, and we'll give it some pushes back and forth, and we'll see what feels the most stable, and then we'll pin it in place. But until the rain lets up, until the rain F's off, on the 1 day a week, see, it's raining right now. I still need to go over to my mom's house and cut grass, but until the rain kind of goes away for a little bit, on the 1 day or so a week that I have available to work on things, that mill's going to stay there underneath that brown tarp. Yeah, it's awesome. And I need to do yard work too. The foxtails are getting up there. Anyway, that's 50 degrees. It's 2:30 on Easter Sunday. Just ice water. That's all I got going on today. That's what I always have going on. Keeps me sharp. All right, that's enough. Gotta go. Gotta run. See ya.